Hey all, it's me. I wanted to make a post about what life has been like this last month outside of the classroom now that I have left teaching. The biggest difference, and I think the biggest loss for me, is definitely that opportunity to work with the kids. Just sitting and reading with them, helping them through, you know, a challenge. Um, Working on how they relate to one another and kind of those social emotional skills, helping them to learn to regulate those emotions. I love connecting with kids, love working with them, love helping them become better selves. Um, and missing that is hard. Um, so, biggest downside. However, the disrespect, the constant data and assessments and lesson planning and lesson adjusting and on the spot thinking and changing and decision making. I don't I don't miss any of that. So um yeah. All right. I want to go in and kind of talk about what days look like now. Um since I found that being a teacher and an infant mom makes very little space for finding another career path, another job, and actually applying to those jobs is not really possible. I think I applied to two jobs back in December, and I don't think they looked like I didn't have time to fix my resume or my cover letter. I just kind of threw things together and threw it at the HR people for those companies. Um, so now that I'm home, I get to wake up without an alarm unless you conclude that my son is my alarm now. I wake up with him, which is usually between like 5:45 and 6:30, and I'm not going to complain because that's still a later time than when I'd wake up for school. The difference is that I don't have to rush him to change, don't have to rush him to feed, we don't have to go, go, go. Um, my hubs, he's up and he's getting ready during that time, so he's getting his breakfast and his lunch and he's getting ready to go. He usually leaves like 6:30ish, so he either makes sure we're awake or he spends a little time with us in the mornings, which is really nice. We'll just eat together in Owen's room while Owen plays in his crib and tells us all about his night, like I wasn't awake for half of it. So that's a change, and that's really nice. I never realized how different your day can start when you have time. And I know that a lot of teachers can make time by getting up earlier, and I was that teacher for a really long time. I was that person that would get up and I'd do yoga and I'd plan out my breakfast and get everything going. But when it's not on an alarm clock, I feel calmer. I am more at peace. I have more energy, I feel. It's just really nice to spend the morning with Owen just waking up and dealing with the day. I love it. Absolutely love it. Then I'll feed him and then I have to pump, so I make sure he has bottles for the days when he's at the sitters. He only goes 4 days a week now, and it's not for as long a period of time so we can save money, but also so I can have a chance to do some work without a 9-month-old demanding all the attention, which is what they do. So we get ready and I pack him up, and he's usually at the sitters around 8 o'clock. I mean, we still are moving, but it's a much just calmer. That's the word for it. It's a calm start to the day. When I think about what I had done by like 7:40 when the kids show up at 7:35, just those 5 minutes, the amount of things that I do in those 5 minutes is what there's like 12 different things. that have to be done. And most of them are like conversations and, responding to something online or setting something up or a whole number of things. So this is a nice morning. I get to drop them off. And one thing I was able to kind of figure out while I was on winter break was that strength training and movement is really important to me as somebody recovering from an eating disorder, as somebody who now has time to focus on taking care of myself and making myself a priority in certain ways. So I go to the gym. I did Zumba yesterday for the first time, and it was so much fun. I was having just a blast, and I cannot wait to do it again. But I do strength training. I'll go and I do sets of squats and different presses and a bunch of different things. And I love the strength and the power that I feel as I get stronger. So I know that feels like a good piece of movement. Some days I just go and I walk for 40 minutes or 20 minutes or just however much I feel like, because it's pretty cold here in Colorado at this time and there's snow on the ground, and I am not the most sure-footed person in the world, so really don't want to wipe out and hurt myself. So even if I'm just on a treadmill, I feel good. And so I get to start the day calm, and then I get to actively do something that makes me feel good. And it's like, I wish everybody had this opportunity to figure out how they want to start the day and not try to force a routine into a time frame that doesn't work. Like, the only reason this is working is because I have the time to put it into my day. So after that, I come home, I'll shower, I make coffee. I do have like a schedule of like, I clean a different thing a day, and I am like 50% on getting that done every day. So bad, not great. The house is a little more comfortable because I am just tidying up as I go. Whereas when I come home from teaching, like, the idea of cooking, I don't do. And Ben has been getting tired of being the one cooking. The idea of cleaning anything, like between pump stuff and bottles alone, trying to just organize as a teacher who's gone all day is so hard. So I feel more comfortable in the space I'm in, just because I can tidy as I go. Whereas before, that took a lot of like mental strain and physical effort. So I get those things done, and I don't know, the morning goes by. I don't rush. Some days I rush because I'm really excited about what I'm doing. Other days I really take my time. And then I get to sit down and start working. And for today, that's making a video. Other days I might be doing a blog post for a website that is not yet working. So coming soon. So this is me, a bunch of blog posts like backdated the first day that my website's on air. I don't know if you say on air, but that's fine. So videos, blogs. I'm reading quite a few books for teachers. Culturally Responsive Teaching in the Brain, Cultivating Genius, The Knowledge Gap, because ultimately I'm working on doing some content creation for Teachers Pay Teachers. And I'm in the middle of my first unit, which is actually a reading unit on The Three Billy Goats Gruff. Super excited. And I think because I'm so excited, my perfectionism's like really high, so it's taking a while. Like, the vocabulary is done, the word work pieces are done, I have ideas for writing. It's just getting it together for Teachers Pay Teachers. I have invested in Canva. So much fun. Like, I'm trying not to just have fun with it and actually use it for a purpose, but like, some days I get a little excited and just enjoy creating things. So I'm doing things. And then there's also like job hunting, because no matter what kind of Teachers Pay Teachers things I get out, it's probably not going to pull the money that's necessary anytime soon, because my website is new, my Instagram is new, YouTube is new. Everything's just very new for me. And it takes time to develop and create these things. But I'm excited to continue working on them. I have sent a couple more applications since the start of January. They're both with the same company and organization that works with project-based learning, which I have a wild love and passion for as a teacher. And it's all about working with teachers and creating content for students, especially students who are minority students in disadvantaged areas, those who have been overlooked and are being taught a curriculum that's supposed to fit everybody, with the exception of like various differentiation pieces, as most curriculums are in reading and math. And so the fact that we're tailoring curriculum to be most effective with these students who just haven't had the same opportunities or just haven't been given the attention that they deserve. Love to work with these companies. But, it takes time. I'm not going to, I think I'm stuck on finding the perfect job rather than just finding something to get into a different place for my career. Because I've been teacher. Now I have to think like, oh, maybe it's instructional designer. Maybe I want to be a trainer, a teacher trainer, or maybe I want to jump into maybe working with a nonprofit or something like that. I think there's just so many options. And if there's something that's stressful right now, it is that there's lots of things that teachers can do. And I feel like we've been gaslit into thinking that we're not capable of doing things that aren't teaching. It helps keep us in the classroom in a profession that's getting less and less people going to school for it. So there's less and less teachers, and in a way it just feels like I was always told, like for me, I was always under the impression that like, what else can a teacher do? What's amazing is a whole heck of a lot. We can create learning materials for almost any other business, any other company, and any other kind of profession. So, it's just kind of like pick a direction and go. And I'm like picking like 7 directions and trying to hit all of that. Ultimately, I'd like to stay in education, working with creating learning content, but I also, because of how I feel about curriculums, I have a hard time with the idea of working for one of those curriculum companies. I've got some work to do. So that's kind of what happens in my day. The nice thing is I get to pick up Owen a couple hours earlier than I used to when I was teaching, which means I have like 5 hours with him before bedtime. And that makes a huge difference. I felt like I wasn't spending any time with him, and I get to do that now. My husband works odd schedules, so his weekends, he gets like every 3rd or 4th weekend off. So I was only spending that time with him. He was working all other weekends. And now his other like weekend time, I get to spend with him too. So ultimately, like our family is spending a lot more time together with me being home and doing things, working at home. And I absolutely love that. I love the opportunity for that. And that works for my family. Financially, this is a luxury. I recognize that I have a privilege that I can take this time. It won't last forever. There will need to be some kind of job. I know that I can always reach out to people in the district area and maybe do some tutoring, which is an option. I can always waitress for a bit and just at least getting some money in while I keep looking. But I know we get to like spring break time, and I'll definitely be needing to have something to bring some money in, as we're just using my leftover paychecks and some extra funds from savings to just get us to this point. So I recognize that this is a luxury that not many people have. And I'm really thankful for this opportunity and this chance. And my husband and I have agreed on the path that I'm taking and we're taking. He said we can, when I was thinking about this in October and November, he said, like, I would rather struggle financially and have the stress of that than have you continue to come home the way you come home every day. And it makes a huge difference. I feel so much like mentally, physically, emotionally healthier than I ever did teaching. Like, yes, I thrived off of teaching. My passion was creating things, cutting and laminating. Oh, it was amazing, but I couldn't sustain it. And especially after having Owen, it definitely stopped being sustainable. So just a little bit of information. Again, this doesn't work for everybody. And maybe not everybody is ready to say goodbye to teaching. Ultimately, I'd love to go back someday. I'm trying to keep like an open mind on what this path will do. Anything's possible. And as things change in my life, I'll continue to share what's happening, because you can do something different. Like, you don't have to be stuck to the classroom, and you can do something that honors your time, honors your energy, honors your effort more than what a lot of teachers get. So I hope you all have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.